Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the Tier 8 German aircraft carrier, the Graf Zeppelin. A few hours turned into a slightly longer time. I'm sorry about that one. Regardless, here is the match, and the Graf Zeppelin is interesting out of the Tier 8 series because she has very fast planes. The torpedo bombers and I believe the dive bombers get up to 260 knots if you use the speed boost. And this means that you can get across a map rather quickly, especially since she is tier 8. And in this match I am top tier, meaning that unlike that Kaga game where I just couldn't do anything and lost 102 planes, this time we can do a lot. And hopefully that will give me a nice game. Now, I didn't know what to target, so I figured I would go with torpedo bombers onto a cruiser that seemed to stand still. I know it's not a very nice move, maybe sometimes people take a while to load in, but he was the ship on the very edge, so unfortunately she ended up being the target. I just didn't want to try to fly over and hit something else. Now I'm going for a Nelson. This honestly is not a good idea. I probably should have tried picking a better target. But I mean, I do get the Lexington follow-up, so things aren't all bad. And now we send them back again, and I guess I could just launch torpedo bombers again, because these torpedo bombers deal a lot of damage. I don't really like the dive bombers on the ship because they are AP, and AP dive bombers just don't feel very good. You'll see them later. And the rocket planes are a lot slower than the torpedo bombers and dive bombers, and as a result, it doesn't feel quite as useful, to be honest, because they don't hit very hard either. I'm gonna try to do a follow-up on the Nelson, because I think I did cause a flooding on her, right? Something like that. But I actually don't know what the hell that was. I guess I tried doing like a long-range drop, hoping that the Nelson doesn't pay attention, but honestly, that was a dumb idea. It was basically just throwing the torpedoes away. At least now I know that the Nelson is paying attention, and so I have some idea on how he plays, but I don't know. This doesn't seem like a good plan. Oh god. What is this drop? Well, anyway, time to send them back, otherwise I might lose them, and that would end up being bad news for me. Looking at the minimap, I do have to pay a little bit of attention to my side of the map, since the only friendly ships on here are a Nagato and a Z-39, whereas the enemy team has a Galissonier, a Scharnhorst, and I guess it's the Hipper that I hit earlier, so the enemies do have more ships on this side, especially if I don't actually go and engage them with my planes, so I probably need to pay some attention to that. I don't know why I'm obsessing over this Nelson so much, but I suppose the reason is that, I might be able to get these flooding stuff going, and that would be a very nice thing to do, since the Nelson is kind of exposed out of the enemy battleships. I mean, every other battleship is kind of behind something, except I guess the Monarch, but she's on the other side of the map. It's much easier for me to go after the Nelson instead. Sadly, that was no flooding on the Nelson, but we'll try again. I think I might be able to actually do a third drop here. Oh, I actually did get the flooding. That's very nice. Let's go in for another. Is it actually worth going for the Nelson again? I'm not even entirely sure, but fine. We'll do it anyway, because she is, again, mostly on. Oh yeah. With the heel going, yeah, she's definitely a worthy target. She's barely moving, so might as well drop exactly on her. Hopefully I'll get another flooding. Now I'll launch dive bombers because I don't have enough torpedo bombers left. Oh, I did get the flooding. This should be a flooding that's out of control. Let's drop a fighter over here, since there are enemy planes flying on the Nagato. And I think I need to move my CV away, because it does seem the enemies are pushing, and They do have quite a lot. So here's how the dive bombers work, right? It's a circle, which is fine. Well, that was fun and engaging. You know, one thing to complain about dive bombers and then detonating a ship with them isn't wargaming, okay? I wanted to show that these dive bombers aren't quite as nice as I would like them to be, and then you do this to me? Really? Well, anyway, that guy did not have a very fun and engaging game. And there's the Nelson down as well. You did see I did get the Citadel hit on the Scharnhorst, but I only hit two bombs, and one of them was a Citadel hit. Now, there's a very high chance when you do these drops that you don't get any Citadel hits with those dive bombers, and sometimes you don't even hit anything. You see, the problem is that you don't drop that many bombs, and it's a circle pattern, meaning that there's always going to be a significant portion of the circle that is, or the circle is too wide compared to how wide ships are, especially when you go drop on these lower tier ships, especially when they're not battleships. You'll see on this cruiser right here. Right, we're doing a circle drop. We start the drop. We do the drop, and we hit absolutely nothing. It's not like the circle wasn't on the ship, it's just that the ship isn't very wide, and it's entirely possible to have the bombs miss. Now, there is some element of when you use it, but still. And look, I only hit one bomb here, and that only did an over penetration. As you can see, the dive bombers just aren't very good. Or at least, they don't appear to be. I suppose if you're in a tier 10 match, you know, tier 10 battleships are really, really wide, so it's not as big of a deal. Okay, I think I just missed this one. This one doesn't count, okay? Or, I guess it does. But again, it's only one bomb hit, and it's an over penetration. If these were HE bombs, that Galissonier probably would have taken, I don't know, at least a few thousand points of damage. And on top of that, you know, if it were a better drop pattern instead of that circle, she probably would have taken a lot of damage too. Or you would have taken a lot more bombs. But because of that, you can basically only use torpedo bombers, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, these torpedoes just miss. Actually, oh, I did hit one. That's surprising. I didn't really expect any of those to hit. Okay, very good, very good. I guess we'll have to use these torpedo bombers though. I'm getting kind of desperate because I am at 30k HP, so this isn't great. Wait, is it even necessary to do this drop? Considering where the... yeah, never mind, this drop is nothing at all. We can just keep flying away, and I suppose it wasn't even necessary. Thank you very much, Z39. And we can go and try doing a drop on the Scharnhorst. I think it would be nice if we could cancel a drop, but I suppose it's fine as is. You know, it's not too bad. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a great drop on the Scharnhorst, because look, she's maneuvering in a way that makes it fairly easy to drop. I mean, she doesn't have too many options here on where to turn. She can turn away, but then she would run into an island, or she can turn closer, in which case the drop would be really easy. I'm not gonna hit all of those torpedoes, but that will make her turn into the island. And then I can do a proper follow-up, and it takes a long time to get out from this kind of a position, and I probably can get my torpedo bombers back here again, so I don't think this was a good move, Scharnhorst. Yes, you avoided the first drop of the torpedoes, but I think you're gonna get hurt more than... You're gonna get hurt more by doing this than what you saved yourself from. I mean, I caused the flooding with this one. If I get the flooding in any of the follow-up drops, that Scharnhorst is gone. And I mean, she's gonna be there because, again, these torpedo bombers are really fast, 260 knots. This is like tier 10 plane speed, to be honest. And I don't think even tier 10 torpedo bombers get up to this much speed. So this is really painful for the Scharnhorst. Although, What this Lexington did with this fighter here is really smart. Kudos to him with that, because this is what carriers should be doing. Because I don't think I can do a follow-up drop with the torpedo. Actually, I guess I can, because the torpedo bombers are too fast for the fighters. So I could just fly away from them. But yeah, this Scharnhorst is just dead. The flooding is gonna take her out. If not the torpedoes, that... Never mind, yeah, the Z-39's torpedoes finished her off. So we're gonna go for the Richelieu now. Because, I mean, looks like she should be a good target. The problem with dropping on French battleships is that if they have speed boost, they can go from a stationary position to like 12 knots in a couple of seconds only. They accelerate like almost as fast as like cruisers, if not even faster than that. And because of that, it's really difficult to drop on ships like this, especially when they're reversing. You don't really know if they're going to continue reversing or if they are already slowing down to try to stand still. And so you have to predict one way or the other, and if you predict wrong, you don't, get quite as much damage. I'm gonna start moving my CV closer again. Although, I am like a battle carrier so far, considering I'm actually at half HP at this point. I don't care about the fighters because I'm using the dive bombers, and these dive bombers aren't amazing anyway, so I might as well. I did get the Citadel, did a whole 7k damage with it, so, you can't really complain about that damage. But I mean, torpedo bombers would have been a lot better in this case. And honestly, the story of the Graf Zeppelin is pretty much the story of her torpedo bombers. But as you can see, even the dive bombers are really fast, so this time I only did 2k damage. The torpedo bomber or even the dive bombers are really fast, meaning that you can, outfly the fighters even right now. Although I do have to mention that this is on the 8.0.2 patch, meaning that from what I understood, 8.0.3 patch makes the fighters engage quicker, so I probably wouldn't be able to do this in the new patch, because the fighters would probably engage. Okay, so how much damage did I do in those 3 drops? I did 7k, 2k, and like 9k, right? So we're talking like 18,000 damage in like a full... in three drops? I don't know, I still think torpedo bombers would have done more. Like, significantly more. Especially when you count in floodings. Yeah, I don't like AP dive bombers at all in this new patch, or in the CV rework, because they just don't deal as much damage. I mean, 3 drops to deal 18,000 damage? If I had been like a Kaga with my HE dive bombers, or Lexington or something, I would have done just as much alpha damage as I did with these AP bombers, except I would also cause fires. And that obviously synergizes well with the torpedo bombers. This is a really poor angle of a drop, but I'll probably still be able to hit one of them, and it'll be on the nose, so the chance that I cause a flooding is actually fairly high. Well, I did hit one of them, but that was not a flooding, okay? Well, anyway, I should be able to hurt her with this drop quite significantly. And I guess I can launch torpedo bombers again. Right? Should be fine. Oh my god. I only hit 2 of those torpedoes. That really should have been a triple torpedo hit, but I suppose a Richelieu, speed boost and all, can do some surprising things that you don't really expect. Why did I launch dive bombers here? I don't actually know that. Oh, right, because of the cap circle, I forgot about that one. We need to get those ships. Should I go and finish the Richelieu off, or should I go... Nah, I need to go for the Belfast, because they're gonna take this capstan otherwise. And the reason why AP bombers are better is because obviously a Belfast is a Royal Navy cruiser, meaning that she can accelerate incredibly quickly. So the chance that I will hit her once with torpedoes is actually much lower than with dive bombers. And I need to hit her to be able to decap, right? That's the important part. And we, managed to do that. Now I probably want to hit the Monarch so that I can decap her as well. And then, you know, actually no. Since Belfast is a target, you know, I didn't want to drop randomly into smoke. Since she is a target, I'm gonna drop on her. That wasn't a very good drop. But again, I'm gonna overpen anyway, so I'm not going to deal a lot of damage. So I'm gonna do a torpedo bomber follow-up. Man, this game is a lot closer than you would think, considering I had 192k damage so far. We really shouldn't be, you know, pressured this hard. I really feel like I should go and finish the Richelieu off, but on the other hand, kinda need to deal with the cap zone. It's very easy to end up in a situation where the cap just goes out of control. You know what? I'm gonna use my RPF thing and predict a drop. Oh! Thank you for firing, Belfast. Hopefully you don't really pay attention to the torpedo stuff. Come on, torpedoes, please. Please, you can do it. I believe in you, little torpedoes. Yes! Goodbye, Belfast. And now it's time to farm the Monarch for some damage. She is slowing down. This is not going to be a good drop, I think. Yeah, that isn't nearly as good as it should have been. But I guess it's, you know, these kinds of things happen. You can't be perfect all the time. One thing that you do need to pay attention is that while the planes are fast, they're fast when you use speed boost. If you don't use speed boost, they aren't quite as quick. I was really debating whether to use torpedo bombers or dive bombers. I was thinking of going and finishing off the Richelieu because we kind of do need to pay attention to points. This isn't like excellent for us in terms of points left. You know, I'm thinking right now, you know what I should be doing? I should go finish off that Richelieu and then move my CV into the enemy cap zone. That way I would block the cap's points from being taken by the enemy. And so we would be equal, right? Like they couldn't gain an advantage from this. Okay. I think this is a fairly good drop. I should send them back because the torpedo bombers would be shut down otherwise. But yeah, I really should be moving into that cap zone right now. But I mean, my CV is detected, so it would be risky. I mean, I only have 27k HP. If I get citadeled, that would be a very bad thing. Flooding is ticking on the Monarch, so the Monarch is probably going down just from that, and I'm gonna have to deal with the Normandy. You know, another thing I could potentially do is deal with the Ranger, but I don't know where she is, right? Like, her last known position is there, but where is she exactly? I have no idea. Wow. So even if I had managed to hit the Normandy properly on the nose, the bombs fell, like, around the Normandy, so I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. Man, this is terrible, okay? But I mean, we're winning, so it's fine, right? Yeah, these dive bombers are... Wow. That was terrible again. No hits. Yeah, as you can see, I am not very happy with these dive bombers. Not very happy at all. Okay, but that's fine. We have the torpedo bombers now, and she only has 21k HP, so we can deal with her, right? Especially since her engine is broken. This drop was bad. But we're going to be able to at least go on from the other side. Wow. Wait, what? It looked like the torpedo armed right there. But for some reason, the torpedo didn't deal any damage and disappeared anyway. That's not okay. That is not okay at all. That was an armed torpedo. Like a properly armed torpedo. Okay, we got the flooding. She is going to take flooding damage, but there's only 14 seconds left. This is not good, okay? This is not good. Come on. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Wow. I can't believe this. So close, yet so far away. 1584 HP. And the torpedoes were on the way. Jesus Christ. I mean, look at this. 1588 HP, sorry. And the torpedoes were so close to the ship. So close. Man, remember the torpedo earlier that armed but didn't arm really and didn't deal damage? If that had hit, we would have won the game. Man. 1.2 million credits though, 250,000 XP. I sunk 3 ships, 1867 base XP. Can't really expect more from me, to be honest. I could have won this if I had played slightly better. And as you can see, 160k torpedo damage, 40k with floodings, dive bombers barely did anything. And they didn't actually use rocket planes because they're that, at least I've found them to be that kind of terrible. I did tank, didn't win the game. I spotted, didn't win the game. I defended the cap, didn't win the game. I did damage, didn't win the game. Yeah, that one torpedo that didn't arm, just, if that had armed, we would have won the game. And points-wise, it was so close as well. Really hard to believe. But it happens. And on the other hand, I still had a great game, right? You can't really deny that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the Patreons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Volguyan, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.